Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review here for one of the wildest, weirdest, coolest 80s movies that I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's one that I've actually watched quite a bit in my life. Matter of fact, what I'm about to talk about is a DVD that my mom got me when she wanted me to see the film many years ago, like 2008 or 9, before streaming was really a thing at all. This is the kind of thing that's on like every streaming service now because of how crazy the reputation is, not only amongst people like my mom's age who grew up on the movie, but people my age who didn't, who are hearing about this film. Anyway, this is a review for the 1986 film called The Wraith. Now, this stars Charlie Sheen, Randy Quaid, Sherilyn Fenn, who played Audrey, whatever her name is, from Twin Peaks, if you happen to know that character. She's a total sex symbol. She's super gorgeous. I really, really love this chick. And also Clint Howard is in this with this goofy Jack Nance Eraserhead haircut, which was intentional apparently. I think it was a wig too, from what I read. So this movie is such a stylish movie. I love that about it. If you love, from the get-go, I'm going to tell you, if you love cool cars, if you love racing movies, if you love street racing films, with kind of like a slasher sci-fi vibe to it, even though it's not a futuristic movie at all. If you like stuff like that with a great soundtrack, you should watch this. And this was back in the day when Charlie Sheen was still not the most well-known actor. And the older movies that I watch from Charlie Sheen, the more I love him. He is just great. I grew up on other things like Hot Shots after I saw this film. I love those films. He's so fucking funny there. But this is when he was still being treated as a serious actor, just letting you know. So don't expect the Charlie Sheen you know from like 2.5 Men and Hot Shots and whatever. So anyway, I guess where I could start with this movie, basically I think it was either a year before or something. It's kind of like The Crow a little bit. Like, I forgot what the timeline was. But recently, this gang of guys who will basically try to force people into street racing them with their muscle cars and stuff to be able to take your car from you. Sometimes they cheat. They'll race you in a street race. They'll take your car. Sometimes they murder people. They actually murdered a guy who was with a girl, Sherilyn Fenn's character. Like I said, within a month to a year before. I completely forgot which one it is. It took me a couple of days to watch this again. And despite seeing it a million times, for some reason my brain blanks every time I watch this and have to hear how long ago it was. But they killed a guy who the main leader of this gang, Packard, wanted to be with. I guess so he could be with her, but they had covered her face in the middle of them having sex, and they killed her boyfriend. And that same boyfriend had a brother that works at a local burger shop. I really like that actor. I don't know who he is. I thought he was Michael Biehn at first, but then I did the math, and I was like, that can't possibly be Michael Biehn. He's probably related to him. I don't know. But so there's kind of this mystery in town about who killed that boyfriend guy of Sherilyn Fenn, and stuffed him into a trunk and then threw the car off a cliff and it blew up. They're also like in Arizona, I think, because it's nothing but fucking desert everywhere. Now, all of a sudden, a mysterious stranger rolls into town, Charlie Sheen, on this really nice motorcycle. They actually kind of dubbed the motorcycle with like a car revving, but it sounds awesome. The sound design of the film is freaking fantastic, man. So are the car chases that they shoot for here, with the street racing and stuff. All of that's great. And to add the really freaking fantastic soundtrack in here, it's even better. I don't like that they took, the only thing I don't like about the soundtrack, by the way, they took Billy Idol, who I love to death. I love Billy Idol's music. They took his song More, and they sped it up so fast it sounds like shit in one of the scenes in the garage. But the rest of the soundtrack, especially the scene where Charlie Sheen is rolling into town on the motorcycle, it's awesome, man. Now, you may wonder how any of this correlates with the picture that I have for this movie. Well, that's part of the goofy part of this. This is kind of a as the title hints, a ghost revenge film. The boyfriend who was killed back in the day may or may not be rolling back into town, dressed up in whatever the hell this getup is on the picture that I'm putting up on the screen for you. I don't even know what to compare him to. He looks like some kind of goofier villain in a knockoff Alien movie from the 80s, you know? He rolls into town, this guy rolls into town, who may be that dead boyfriend from back in the day, in this freaking sweet car. It's called a Dodge Turbo Interceptor or something like that. MS-14 or MS-4 Dodge Turbo Interceptor. I don't know what it's called. The point is, it's so fucking cool. It is one of the coolest looking cars ever. Back when I got to see this, it was when Fast and Furious was still at its peak in the movie franchise, I mean. I had just seen things within the last couple of years before seeing this of like Tokyo Drift, which is still one of my favorite it's my favorite Fast and the Furious movie, but it might be like my favorite kind of street racing film ever. I just love that film, just like I love the first Fast and Furious movie. So anyway, this car, this Dodge Interceptor thing, whoever this guy is that comes into town, he's using it to street race these other guys, these other scumbags from the gang, and then kill them. So they're starting to feel the tension of, oh my god, somebody's hunting us down. Maybe it's that guy from back in the day we killed. And they knew him more personally than that, I'm just saying. But people in the town are starting to know this is happening. You also have Randy Quaid, for anybody who doesn't know who that is, Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. I love Randy Quaid. One of my favorite actors ever, man. Randy Quaid is like a cop, sheriff, deputy, whatever, in this small town, and he's investigating these murders. Oddly enough, when people are killed in this town by this Dodge Interceptor, not people, but these gang members, every time they're killed, their cars get blown up by either crashing into the side of this Interceptor, because he deliberately does it. He's a way faster car than them, so he'll pull on down the road, block the whole street, and force them to slam into him. Every time their car will blow up, their bodies won't be burnt, but their eyes will be missing. Which, by the way, for the 1980s, that's a really good looking effect. I don't know if those are dummy heads or whatever. I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out. I don't know if those are dummy heads that they like molded a cast or whatever around a person's face and then like didn't have eyes on the mask they made. I don't know how they did that. That's a really good looking effect where the eyes are missing. And it's not like CGI or anything. It's a real practical effect. Everything in here is practical. They had to do that back in the day. All the explosions and stuff. Now, getting back to the getup that this dude is in with the biker helmet and stuff, this Wraith, if you will, that's killing all these bad guys. One of the worst aspects of this movie that I wish there was a cut of this movie that cut this shit out. I don't know what they were thinking, even for the 80s. So, the Wraith, every time he kills someone, he has these these braces that you don't realize are there at first, but then every time he kills somebody, especially the first time it happens, you'll get a close-up shot of like his arm or his leg, and he has an arm brace or a leg brace on all four of his limbs. And every time he kills one of these bad guys, one of those braces will disappear. It'll get real bright, and then it'll just vanish. Now, we know from the get-go he's a supernatural force, some kind of ghostly car-driving monster of some sort. He also uses this really goofy-looking shotgun at one point that has like red lights up and down the side of it, but it looks like a tactical shotgun you'd use like in the Fear games. But the arm brace thing, the leg brace thing, dude, that is one of... You couldn't do that now in 2026. You could not make this movie now, which kind of makes it more charming, to be honest with you. With the amazing soundtrack, the amazing visuals, Sherilyn Fenn is absolutely breathtaking in this movie, man. When I was a kid, I thought this was Heather Langenkamp, and now in hindsight, I'm like, how stupid was I as a teenager? I couldn't even tell. But she's beautiful, man. But Charlie Sheen, he does not have anything to do in the film. Matter of fact, he's in the movie so little, which surprises me. They filmed everything that he recorded for this movie in one day. Can you believe that? If you've seen the film, that may surprise you. But yeah, that's what they could pull off back in the 80s. You can't even do that now. You could do that in like a month or a couple of weeks. But they were able to pull that off all the way back then. In a day, they pulled off all Charlie Sheen's scenes. And he's probably in the movie for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes in total. Because he has a whole love story arc in here. He's kind of like the main hero character in this movie coming back into town. And yet, Sherilyn Fenn's character, I gotta be honest with you, she's a fucking idiot. She's like first-hand experience with this guy all the time. And at the same time, some of the things about what's going on with this murderer, not murderer, this like Wraith guy, she's an idiot. The stuff that she should know, that should be easy, that if you're an audience member, it's probably going to confuse you, that she's so dumb she can't figure these things out easily. It's going to get annoying, just saying. But the rest of the movie's style and stuff, all the car racing, and again, that Turbo Interceptor, even down to Charlie Sheen's motorcycle in the movie, and that kind of mysterious feel to this film, where it's located in this kind of semi-desert in Arizona. All of that stuff with that soundtrack just adds into a really stylish, fun 80s cheese fest. And yet, I wouldn't consider it a bad movie. You know, like, this is the kind of thing back in the day that when I first got streaming, I would find movies like this. I found Killer Clowns from Outer Space through Netflix. I'd never heard of that movie before, never saw anything about it before. And yet I loved it. It's a classic. Now it's a cult classic. People adore it. The Wraith, I think, and I'm a little surprised, that it doesn't have reviews from people like Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman and all these big YouTubers. This is a fun movie. You just have to be able to kind of enjoy it. And I don't want to say shut your brain off, because, again, when it comes to like the car chases and stuff, there's so much effort and cleverness put into the way those are shot, especially for 1986. I think these are some of the best car chases and races put out by that time, in my opinion. It's really good for that stuff. It's really well made for those things. So don't just turn your brain off. Enjoy what you're seeing. But like I said, the script ain't the greatest. It's the mystery aspect of it is fucking wild, that people like Randy Quaid and Sherilyn Fenn could look at some of these things happening and say, well, that's a little strange. Like, dude, there are bodies being burnt that don't have eyeballs, but the bodies are okay. They're intact. You don't think that's weird? You don't think that there's something else happening there? You don't think there's a chance that this could be a body dropped off into that burning car? No one says that, not once. So its logic is not there, but it doesn't need to be realistic. It's not the fucking Breakfast Club, folks. But anyway, The Wraith, if you haven't seen it, it's totally a flick you should check out if you love 1980s movies. And again, dude, the soundtrack, I could listen to it over and over again. So what do you think about The Wraith? If you grew up in the 80s with this movie, let me know what you think about it down below. Was the arm brace, leg brace thing something you guys made fun of? Because I've hated that part of this movie since I saw it. I think that is so damn dumb, and it kind of ruins the movie a little bit. And the point is, of that, to make the Wraith look like he's getting stronger, or that his chains are being broken or something, like he's some kind of demon. It's not like that in representation. It looks stupid. The idea is stupid. You know, I'd rather it be one of those things that cut out of the film entirely, and you just never really pay attention until some YouTuber puts a red circle and an arrow pointing at it. So anyway, what do you guys think about The Wraith? Let me know your thoughts and everything down below. If you haven't seen it, you should watch this. I think it's a really cool watch. I'd love to hear you guys who have never seen it before comment in the comments and tell me what you think about it. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you. Catch you later, and goodbye.